Welcome to Know the Score with Decker and Dix. Don't forget to like us and follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Join us live Monday and Friday mornings, or sometimes Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and even an occasional Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, who knows? You can shoot us questions or just send us a comment to set Decker straight. Sit back, enjoy, Know the Score with Decker and Dix now.
I told you.
Whoops. It's Friday, buddy.
I was just trying to knock me out of here before I'm even here.
I hit the wrong one. I was going to do this one.
The howling, yes.
Yes.
Go T-Wolves, huh?
But then it was supposed to say, I told you, because you said they weren't going to beat the Warriors.
Well, yeah, you probably wouldn't have thought that either, but you're a Minnesota fan, so.
No,
Yeah, no, you're a homer. You're a homer.
Man. I tell you what.
So did you see the Twitter I sent you, the X I sent you of JJ, both JJs at the game?
Yeah, I replied to it.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't see the reply.
You read the reply out loud. Go right ahead.
Where are you at, boy?
Well, there's that one. Yeah.
He says, look at those two teammates hanging out together. Meanwhile, in Chicago, is it Crip, DJ Moore?
Yeah.
Has put a hit blood Caleb Williams.
Hit on Caleb Williams. They don't like each other.
They do too.
They do not. Even you said it last year.
Oh, God. We're going to start going down this road?
Well, we usually
JJ
do.
McCarthy looked pretty uncomfortable sitting there as celebrities came over, and JJ's just like, Curry didn't even acknowledge him.
So, what big deal?
And then the second guy, I don't know who's the second guy. Was that Ant that went over there?
I don't
JJ's
know.
like sticking his hand out before the hug was even.
I don't know, man.
No.
It's
Listen
things like that.
here.
Okay, I'm listening.
In Chicago, things are fine. Minnesota's starting to rile things up before we get into the season. All these X fans. Well, Caleb Williams wanted to go to Minnesota. You let it rest. You're dealing. You have your QB1.
Yeah,
let it rest. It's okay. I'm sure there's tons of players that said they wanted to go play somewhere else. They got drafted somewhere else. Look at Shedeur.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's over with.
No, and that's everything. That's every team. Oh, the coach came up to the quarterback afterwards and said, hey, just being a nice guy. That doesn't mean they wanted to come here or they wanted to go there. Now, you would admit, and maybe you won't because you're stubborn, but it came out today that Caleb Williams didn't want to go to the Bears because of Matt Eberflus. Did you read that?
Yes.
And so...
that's
fine and legit.
That's legit. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But to bring it up a year later after we've got new coaches,
that's to me, it's like that guy's just trying to sell his book.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
I think Caleb Williams is going to be a really good serviceable quarterback for the Bears.
Yeah.
I think the NFC North is going to be crazy competitive.
Yeah.
Unless
they did say that Caleb he's into with the new regime. I'm obviously Shedeur is the same way. Shedeur's drafted by Cleveland. Did he want to go to Cleveland? Will he? If he starts, I think, and gets a couple wins, I think everything will change.
Right.
If they go 0-16, Deion's going to want Shedeur out of there.
Well, so tell me this. If he doesn't win the starting job with that group of quarterbacks, is he a starting quarterback in the NFL?
That's another thing. I think he needed another year in college, but okay. I'm not a scout. I'm not a professional NFL analyst of quarterbacks. So what's in my head, I see is probably blinded by
the media and the hype and his dad. And
exactly.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll, I don't know, like they gave up on Baker Mayfield, I think a little too early or it came down to coaching or whatever it was. So I don't know. I don't know either. all I know is Detroit fans still think they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're going undefeated this year. They've got a pretty tough schedule. I don't know if you saw it yet or
well,
not.
they're all pissed they didn't get the first game, and now
Well,
they're
I know
mad because they didn't get a certain amount of primetime games.
Well, they didn't get. Then the Bears Vikings start Monday Night Football. You know?
Oh yeah, they were upset about that.
Yeah,
They're like, well,
which
game we're not going to watch. I'm like, for first off, okay, if you're a NFL fan,
right?
Okay, first game of the year, I could come out and say, well, it's not the Bears. I'm not watching it. Yeah, you are. You're watching it.
Right.
You're watching the Packers-Vikings game. You're watching the Packers-Lions game.
Right.
Because it's a division, unless your team is playing at that time, you're going to watch your opposing team.
If it's a Monday night game and it's Detroit and Green Bay, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I won't sit and stare at it, but I'll have it on or I'll be checking
on just to see if anything crazy happens.
Yeah. So, I was speaking with I have a pretty good Detroit fan and he said he's worried and he won't tell all the other Lion fans, but he's like, Goff is terrible outside. He plays, I'm sure McCarthy's going to be the same way. He'll probably play well in dome stadiums, but when he gets outside and it gets a little cold, it's going to be tough for these guys to go.
Yeah, but McCarthy played in
yeah, but but Michigan's, they get done in November, right?
Well,
and then they sit around until frickin' January to play.
Yeah, that's true. They're practicing in dome. Yeah.
So he's worried about that, which there is a good Lions fan out there. But he doesn't want to come on here because he doesn't want to be exposed.
So I haven't diagnosed the Viking schedule. Are they of the 8 or 9 road games? Are they 2 of them? Obviously, 2 road games are in
overseas,
nice weather.
Yep. Well, and 2 are overseas.
Yeah.
So which are neutral sites, which says they only have what?
But
5 road games. 5 road games.
Yeah. So that is a bonus for Minnesota. They've turned
Right.
2 road games into 2 neutral games against 2 mediocre teams.
Right.
So
I haven't really looked real tough, but I'm guessing every team in that division is going to finish around a 10-7, 9-8, 8-9 record, Nolan. I just think they're going to beat the crap out of each other.
You were asking about Super Bowl odds? Did you just ask me that? I thought I heard you ask me that.
Say, Nolan, do you know what the Super Bowl odds are for this year?
I just did some research before we went on the air. It's crazy you ask.
Sounds good.
So Chicago has 40-1 chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, so now tell us layers here that don't know what betting is. If I spend $100 on the Bears to win the Super Bowl, and they win the Super Bowl, I would win how much?
$40,000.
$40,000.
Yes. Okay. Minnesota is 20. No, not 40,000. Be 4,000.
I was going to say.
Yeah, 4,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take
Minnesota is 28-1.
Okay.
Which is not very good.
Those aren't good odds.
These aren't good odds. No.
Okay. All right.
But they're on the cusp of when I look at. Okay, I'll give you Green Bay. Green Bay is 22-1. So the Vegas is saying Green Bay is better than Minnesota right now.
Okay.
Okay, by a little bit. And Detroit is a favorable 9-1. So yeah, you spend $100, you make $900 on a Detroit. You spend $100 on the Bears, you win $4,000.
Okay. So and I don't know betting, but I'm just gonna guess that the Packers have better odds because they have a quarterback that is quote unquote proven as opposed to the Vikings. Is that where we're going?
And I'm not sure because you're still looking at a young Green. Probably since they made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a big thing.
Sure.
Minnesota one kind of. I don't know. You got to think about that one. 28-1. I know you're going with JJ McCarthy.
Yep.
But I don't know. The work that they did in the offseason, I thought, because I look at the top 10 in the NFC, Vikings are projected in the top 7. They are the number 7 seed right now, behind Philadelphia 1, Detroit 2, Washington 3, San Francisco 4,
Okay,
which
see,
kind of surprises me a little bit. Rams, Green Bay, Minnesota are your top 7. Then it's Tampa Bay and Chicago rounding out the 9. So
who would win? Who is going to win the South?
Well, they've got
Who do they have? I mean, because that would be the 4th team, would be the South, right?
well, Atlanta would be, they've got Atlanta behind Chicago at 10.
But if Tampa Bay is in the same as Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, Tampa Bay. Yeah, Tampa Bay is 8th. I said Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those guys, obviously, with this just being a
They're
power
just
ranking,
okay. Yeah, they're just. I thought you meant like standing.
These are all
wise,
on
this
odds.
Is how, okay.
These are on odds.
Ah, I see. My bad. I'm sorry.
So to win the NFC, Tampa Bay is 8th. Minnesota's 7th.
I
6th
gotcha.
on the way up. So it's not.
Gotcha.
So yeah, obviously Tampa Bay would jump up to the 4th spot. Obviously, if we're looking at playoffs.
Okay.
But
so you give me your top 3 teams in the NFC right now. You tell me who they are. I'll tell you mine.
I probably go
Gotta
Philadelphia.
Gotta go Philly.
I think you
Gotta go Lions.
You got to put Detroit in there.
Yeah.
I think I'm jumping the Rams up.
You're gonna put Rams 3.
I think the Rams are going to be. Now I'm looking at divisions here, so I'm taking 4 division, or should I just do
your 3 top teams? Who are the top 3 teams in your
Philadelphia, Detroit? God, I hate to say Washington. But I think it's the Chicago mentality in me, hoping that Jaden Daniels doesn't succeed a second year. But I think Washington is right there. I think.
I think they are too. But that 1-year wonder, sophomore slump,
we hope
that sort of stuff. I'm with you on the Rams, and if I can't put the Vikings there yet because I don't know.
I think you can put the Vikings there.
You can put Vikings 3.
I think if they have what they say they have,
if JJ comes out and has 25 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, 5 interceptions, they're going to win the Central Division or the NFC North.
But with this roster, can JJ McCarthy be a game manager? Or do they not have the running back talent to be a game man, to be able to hand it off?
So again, that's what scares me is the running back, because Jones,
and that's the Bears too. Bears have wide receivers, tight ends.
Yep.
We have Swift.
I like the guy they got from San Fran, but he's injury prone as well. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I can put him there, but I think I would put the Rams above him now.
To me, JJ McCarthy is a game manager.
Okay.
In Michigan, he was a game manager. I mean, he didn't.
What would you call Sam Darnold before he came to Minnesota?
He was not a very good quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even think he was a game manager.
Okay.
So he had. I mean, was last year a fluke year?
Probably. We're going to find out against
Seattle. We'll find out real quickly. And we'll find out about Kevin O'Connell on what JJ McCarthy does.
So if he gets JJ to 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, are you finally going to say, yeah, the dude knows a little bit about quarterbacks?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking he knows about quarterbacks, but
because he was a quarterback, when he played.
But it's also a pretty good formula is what you have around. You gave Sam Darnold Hawkinson, you had Addison, you had Jefferson. That's 3 pretty good athletes there.
And you had Aaron Jones, who had a pretty dang good year.
Had a good year.
Yeah.
So you've built on that. You've kept your same weapons. You're looking for WR3 right now.
Yeah. I can't make predictions right now, but if I had to, I would say Philadelphia. Lions are a close second, and then you could put the Vikings, the Skins, the Rams, maybe even the Buccaneers. I don't know. I think Baker Mayfield's a winner. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think,
and I hate to say it, but JJ McCarthy's in a good situation.
yeah, he is. Well, Caleb is now too.
Yeah,
with a new coach. I mean,
but I'm still on the verge of JJ McCarthy is not a QB1.
Well, I know that
until he can,
unless we all
yeah.
We're all on that, but some people aren't because they just.
Well, I was gonna say there's a pretty good chunk on my.
They look through purple glasses, like you look through your Bear orange glasses and the Honolulu blue glasses. But you can't make. I'm moving slow still, aren't I? But can you hear me talking?
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're talking perfectly. You're just You just quit moving, you'll be fine. No, I'm. So yeah, so the Vikings schedule. I've looked at the Bears schedule a little bit. I haven't really diagnosed that, but we start off with the Vikings, and then we head to Detroit, Dallas, at Vegas, and then a bye week. So I'm looking at maybe a 2-2 start.
I was going to say, are you okay with the 2-2?
I would be okay with the 2-2.
Crazy early bye week. Wow.
I would like a win over the Vikes, a loss to Detroit. Be a tough game.
Would you flip those? Dallas. Would you like a loss to the Vikes and a win against Detroit?
No.
Okay.
No, I prefer a win over Minnesota to start things off. But it'll be what it'll be. I mean, probably a good time to see JJ McCarthy as game one.
Yep.
First regular season start.
So could he be considered a rookie since he didn't play last year, or is that not?
I don't know how they do that.
Right. I mean, he didn't play a single lick in the in the regular season.
Yeah, but he was a Hall of Famer in preseason. So I mean, I
played like 10 minutes.
Well, he was. Look at your ex.
Dude, I never said he was a Hall of Famer.
I'm not saying you.
No, and so don't.
I'm talking Case, Purple PTW podcast. I don't know all these.
No good.
I don't know.
So
yeah, we've got an unfortunate bye week 5. I think you guys have a bye week 6.
7, I think it was.
7?
Yeah.
Which these are professional athletes.
You don't need a bye week.
They don't care on bye weeks.
I think it helps the team maybe heal up a little bit more to come back and get beat up. So it'll be exciting. I mean, fans are screaming their team's going to the Super Bowl already. I'm a little bit more of a, hey, this is what's going to happen, so let's just kind of roll with it, Let's get to September's coming. Not that I want it to come because I really enjoy summer, but
So Purple FTW podcast. I was just going to say new feature of the podcast is our first X on my feed. So I hit it. First X on my feed is Curry and Jefferson embracing.
Yeah.
Okay. It says here, Steph Curry dapping up Justin Jefferson while completely ignoring JJ McCarthy is some villain origin bleep.
See, it wasn't like that at all. See how? I don't know. I got a new one for you here, buddy.
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
And then, now you've got Viking fans doing this.
What
almost was.
Oh God, who's doing that?
There's some Joey. I don't know.
Joey can suck it. My first one on Twitter is the Lions get back 15 players on defense after winning 15 games with 18 players on IR. The Lions dominated their schedule with a practice squad defense. And for some odd reason, people believe we're only going to be 7 games worse this season. Y'all math ain't mathing.
So I refresh, and then Cam puts this on there.
Yeah, you need to just.
You gotta look up, Chad.
I'm looking. I see you.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. I got the same one on my Twitter. So
do you have this one where they want to know what LeBron's doing up in the up on the electrical wire? But Shohei Ohtani last night got struck out by a position player when they were up 17-2.
Do you think he really was trying to hit it?
Well, I think he was trying to hit it 800 feet. I think is what he was trying to do.
So this is, I wasn't going to ask you in our pregame, but when you're up 17-0 and you're a player, in baseball, what are you thinking? Like, I could just kind of slough off the rest of the way, right?
I would think a majority of it. High school baseball, you really can't, because that can switch in a heartbeat.
Sure.
Because you don't have as much pitching as major leaguers.
Yeah. And so football wise, if I'm up 17-0, I don't rest until probably like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, right?
I would say, 8 minutes in the fourth quarter, you need to be up at least 5 touchdowns in order to
rest. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because look at the Colts. I mean.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So your team, your coach and your boys, you get up 17-0 in the fifth inning. Is it over because 10 run by fifth inning or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 10 after 5. Yeah.
So let's just say there's not that rule. What do you tell them at 17-2 going into the sixth inning, the seventh inning? Do you tell them things before innings or not?
I say keep hitting the ball.
Yep.
Obviously, we're not going to turn a double into a triple. We're not going to turn a pass ball into a run.
Okay.
We're not going to steal. Just actually had that happen the other night to a team that has been pretty good against us. We always play tight games with them.
Yep.
Got down like 10-0, 11-0, and they were still stealing and laid a bunt down. It's just like, I'm looking around at my coaches and my players. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, there's some unwritten rules. I mean,
yeah.
At this point, we're in the fifth inning. You're already up 10. And now you're stealing up 10 already. You've already got the 10-run rule. But I don't know. It shocked me from the team, but
yeah, okay.
It is what it is.
So do you tell them, like, just play our game, play your defense, don't try for the miraculous catch, don't do this, don't do that, you know?
Well, I mean, with the catches, I mean, you still want to preserve that shutout. You want to whatever. I mean, you play 120% on defense, but offensively, you're still going up as a batter. You're going
trying to
up
get a hit.
Yeah,
you want to
because I seen there was Dodgers hitting home runs when it was 15-0 last night.
Well, yeah, but that's
their
said it
swing.
best. Hitting is contagious, but errors are contagious too.
Yeah, you don't want to go up and say, "Hey, why don't you bunt the next 3 guys so we can get out of here?"
Yeah.
You know, no guy's going to hurt his batting average since they're up 17-0. They want in on the hit parade.
Yeah,
but
putting one over the fence would be fun, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, do you take off do you take your foot off the gas? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, you've got subs, but if your subs are doing it, not much you can do. If you bring a freshman in or a rookie, and he hits a home run or hits a triple,
right?
Sorry, you got to get somebody better on the mound.
I didn't know that we acquired Roger Clemens' son to play for the Twins. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He plays second base for him.
Wow, so you've got Roger Clemens' son, you've got Randy Moss's son in town.
Yep.
Tell you what, you guys are living large over there in Minnesota.
Kevin Garnett got any kids? I don't even know.
Well, he might.
I'm waiting for that next year. I might have to see if I can get tickets to Kevin Garnett night after the Wolves win the championship. It'll be a good time. So you're telling me. So let's talk Wolves here.
Okay, let's talk Timberwolves.
So because then I got to go. Here's my thoughts. I told you the Timberwolves would win, right?
Yep.
I told you the Pacers would win, right?
Yep.
I told you Boston is going to win. Are they going to come back and win?
No, not without Tatum. No.
They're 3-2. They're down 3-2. They win tonight. If they win tonight, do they win Game 7 at home?
Last night was all a momentum type of
so the
win
Nuggets
for Tatum.
The Nuggets won last night. Are they going to take? Are they
both those two teams are good. I think.
Okay.
I think Minnesota will have a tough. You said earlier, we swept them in the regular season. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, regular season not going to matter. But I think OKC Denver winner will give Minnesota a struggle.
Yeah.
I don't think Minnesota will have an answer for Joker. That guy can score at will on anybody.
So you're not bought into the hype of Ant-Man and those guys. It's a pretty good player, buddy. And again,
I'm not saying he's not a bad player. He's a great player.
Yeah. And I think
But if they come into the Western Conference Finals and lose again,
Yeah. I mean, I think they're peaking at the right time. There's always that, we peaked at the wrong time. Right now they're playing some pretty damn good ball, buddy.
Yeah.
But Draymond Green just kind of disappeared. And I think he was probably told, keep your emotions in check. And when he keeps his emotions in check, he doesn't play well.
Yeah, but every team is one player away from Ant gets hurt, you guys are done.
Well, I agree with that. I
know you were in denial when Steph Curry went down. You're like, we were going to beat him.
We were going to beat him anyways.
No, you weren't. Warriors beat him. No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have beat Steph Curry and the Warriors if Steph Curry was healthy throughout the playoffs. There's no way you would have. Because the Warriors took care of business game 1. And don't say, well, it's because Minnesota had a layoff. That's no.
Well, all I have to say is...
Your face! Yeah! How do you like them apples? Woo-hoo-hoo!
Guess what I did before you got on this one?
Yeah, I was just saying you need to got some new ones.
Yeah.
But every team, look at Tatum. There's no way they're going to survive. Even if they would make the Eastern Conference Finals, they're not going to survive without Tatum.
Well, that part I know, Nolan. But I think they can come back and beat the Knicks because the Knicks are the Knicks, and they somehow shoot themselves in the foot every single time.
Well, it could be.
And I don't know. I wish the series was over because I hate this waiting. Because I'll tell you right now, the Wolves are going to lose the first game, whoever they play. Because you got to keep that momentum going. I don't like this. They'll have we got 3-4 days off. They're going to be able to rest. Well, no, I think you lose a little luster when you rest. I don't know. That's just me. It just seems like they come out flat. But hopefully it's a good series. Hopefully Wolves take it and go to the finals. But we'll see.
Yes, we will.
Yes. Were you shocked that the Pacers beat the Cavs? I think the Cavs were just kind of not a.
Cavs were, they didn't. I didn't watch them all year, so I was just like, oh, they are good. And then I watched them, and like the Pacers, just every fathom of the game, it was.
And I will give you, Ant's got to control the ball a little bit better. Yeah, he's had some turnover problems here. But I mean, they're playing good ball right now, Nolan.
Yep.
And hopefully it continues. We'll see. We don't know. I think
Minnesota needs a championship.
Well, and we got a better chance. I feel you said Joker. I think we have a better chance of beating them than we would OKC. But did you get my text this morning where SGA he throws the ball up in the air and he's flopping and all this stuff? And so,
well, I hate to say it, Chad, but he's not the only one that does it.
I know it.
I have seen some of the Timberwolves do it. So
I know it, but they
every time somebody just gets grazed by a finger, they flop back. And
so Lily and I were watching some pro men's soccer just a couple nights ago. She's like, "Let's watch."
That's probably pretty bad on.
Oh God, it's like, you'd think broke.
They get kicked in the shin. They thought they shattered his shin bone. And,
yeah. She's like, these guys are terrible actors. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, it's just they show the slow motion and one guy didn't even get touched.
Like a graze, yeah.
And he fell back and they called the whistle and she's like, she goes, that happens to me all the time. I don't hit anybody. I'm like, you hit him. I know.
Yeah, you hit him hard, yeah.
I'm right there. So I know it's
so I know one thing that we did not talk about.
Yes. What are you going to put up on the board here?
I'm going to put up this banner right here. We did not talk about these Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
11 in a row.
11 in a row.
They are hot. Rocco's working his way up to manager of the year as he's sitting in 4th place in the AL Central, even after that 11 in a row. Detroit sitting at top 3 teams in baseball right now. Hottest teams, I should say. Minnesota at 11-0. St. Louis at 9-1, and Detroit at 8-2. So it sucks when you go 11-0 and the other team ahead of you is still hot.
Playing some pretty good ball, yeah.
But Dodgers are still playing some pretty good baseball too.
I would say the Twins have been playing some great ball. Been able to actually watch a few games, but they're not playing the best teams out there. They're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. So it'll be interesting when we go play Detroit and Kansas City and Cleveland again. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm still
What they
off
got
the
this
rock.
weekend?
Brewers
Brewers.
over in Milwaukee. So it should be, hopefully they can be nice to bring home 14 in a row, you know,
There you go.
Target Field and win a few games. So we'll see what happens. But all right, my man.
Okay.
I got to get myself ready to go. We're going to get this knee checked out, and hopefully this
There you go.
final
Get fixed
time,
up.
the final time that they will say, hey, we're going to take care of this.
And we say
There you go.
bye-bye.
Talk to you next week.
You got it, buddy.